The dangers of being overhydrated is something that many people are not aware of. Most of us are familiar with dehydration and the symptoms such as cramping and having dry skin and feeling like your head's on fire. But I wanted to do a deep dive on overhydration, also known as hyponatremia. When you have a condition of hyponatremia, you have symptoms like loss of balance, slurred speech, and blurry vision. And I want you to be very careful of this, because once the body gets into a state of hyponatremia, what ends up happening is the belly needs to be pumped to be able to turn these conditions around. If you continue to overhydrate, the scary part about hyponatremia is it can actually kill you. So think about it, when you're running under conditions of dehydration, you kind of have some stop gaps, cramping, feeling very hot, that usually will slow you down and stop you. Here's the danger on the other end of the spectrum. When you have a condition of hyponatremic, what ends up happening is your brain is telling your body it's thirsty, it needs more fluid, so you throw down more fluid. What's happening is the water is backing up in the stomach because it's not absorbing. That's the key component. So as the fluid backs up in the belly, you'll notice that the belly starts to become distended. The brain is saying we're thirsty, we need more fluid, you throw more in, and now you're stuck in a vicious cycle. So here's what I want you to keep in mind. You need to make sure that you're drinking a sports drink that has a 5 to 6% concentration rate of carbohydrates, and there has to be a presence of electrolytes. Most of us think about electrolyte depletion in the form of cramping, but you also have to think about electrolytes are part of the absorption process through your stomach. So here's a couple things that you can do. First of all, as I just mentioned, make sure your sports drink is mixed to a 5 to 6% concentration rate. If you're using my energy fuel, please don't deviate from the instructions. Why? Because we've already done the math behind the scenes to make sure the concentration rate is correct. The second thing you could do is drink your fluids as cold as possible. There's documentation that the gastric dump, the absorption of the fluid, is at a higher rate when the fluids are cold. The next thing you need to think about is not overhydrating during the day. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know your goal is to consume half of your body weight in ounces of water spread out over an 8 to 10 hour day. And then the final thing you need to pay attention to is understanding what your sweat rate is. I have a sweat rate calculator. If you want to email me, contact@coachrob.com. I'll be happy to send it to you. And what we do is we factor in the heat and the humidity, the duration, and the intensity. And what you'll find there is what is your perspiration rate given those variables. So if you start to tidy up some of these areas that will keep you from overhydrating, the good news is they'll keep you from dehydrating as well. But what I want you to understand is there's a tremendous danger associated with becoming overhydrated. If you liked the video, please do me a favor, give it a likes up button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and as always, thanks for watching.